Do you want to be a fighter?
RMC.
There's only one Tyson Fury.
Fighters Club.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Alexander Gane.
I am the greatest.
Bonjour à toutes, bonjour à tous et bienvenue à un nouveau numéro du RMC Fighter Club. Un Fighter Club qui continue son approche du choc XXL de ce week-end à Las Vegas. Ciryl Gane, notre bon gamin national, contre la légende Jon Jones pour la ceinture des poids lourds de l'UFC en main event de l'UFC 285. Et dans cette approche de ce choc XXL, comme je vous le disais, on vous propose un petit bonbon avec le témoignage d'un des anciens adversaires de Jon Jones, sans doute celui qui l'a le plus embêté dans sa carrière. Le Suédois Alexander Gustafsson nous fait l'honneur d'être avec nous dans le RMC Fighter Club. L'impatience monte encore et encore. Pour les fans de MMA français, Noël va tomber le 4 mars cette année. Ce week-end à Las Vegas, Ciryl Gane face à Jon Jones avec en jeu la ceinture de champion des poids lourds de l'UFC. Et pour conquérir ce Graal jamais atteint par un représentant français, bon gamin va devoir battre une légende qui n'a jamais vraiment été battue dans sa carrière. Malgré toutes ses qualités qui sont immenses, Jon Jones a déjà été embêté par l'adversité dans la cage. À commencer par Alexander Gustafsson qui l'avait poussé dans ses retranchements en septembre 2013 dans un combat depuis entré au Hall of Fame de l'organisation. Quel chemin pour battre Jon Jones et s'offrir l'éternité? Alexander Gustafsson est l'invité du RMC Fighter Club pour nous raconter le jour où il a titillé la victoire contre le phénomène et comment s'y prendre pour mettre Bones à mal.
Rebonjour à tous et bienvenue donc dans ce numéro spécial du RMC Fighter Club avant le grand choc Ciryl Gane contre Jon Jones ce week-end à Las Vegas, UFC 285 pour la ceinture des poids lourds de l'UFC. Je suis avec Joe, mon compère habituel du Fighter Club. Salut mon Joe, comment ça va?
Salut Alex.
Et après Chris Weidman, on a l'honneur et le plaisir de vous présenter, d'avoir un invité prestigieux, Alexander Gustafsson, l'ancien challenger du titre contre Jon Jones. 2 fois des combats contre Jon Jones, dont le premier, dont on se souvient, une guerre absolue, un combat qui a Hall of Fame, et c'est un honneur de l'avoir avec nous et un plaisir. Hello Alex, so it's an honor and a pleasure for us to have you. Obviously, we're going to talk about that big Ciryl Gane against Jon Jones fight, and you're the perfect testimony for that, as you fought Jon Jones 2 times, and the first one was such a war, a fight that is in the Hall of Fame, and that everybody that likes MMA should have seen at least once in his life. That was such an amazing fight. D'abord, Alex, tout simplement, Alexander, quel est ton premier souvenir quand on t'évoque ce premier combat contre Jon Jones et cette guerre absolue? First of all, Alexander, what is your first memory when we talk about that first fight with Jon Jones? It was September 2013, UFC 165.
My first memory?
Yeah.
My first memory was it was the big stage, and it was a lot of impressions, and it was just the first fight I had with so much attention and media. It was a really big fight for me, and that was my first impression. I remember it like yesterday, so that was my first impression. You know how big it was, the show, and the fight, and all the media and everything, the promotion.
Là, notre Ciryl Gane national, il affronte un Jon Jones qui est de retour 3 ans après, qui a 35 ans. Mais toi, quand tu l'affrontes, il est au sommet de son run. Il a été champion 2 ans et demi avant. Il a roulé sur toute la division. Comment tu abordes ce combat à l'époque? Est-ce que tu le vois comme une montagne très difficile à gravir? Est-ce que tu te dis qu'il est presque imbattable? Comment tu abordes ce combat? Obviously, Ciryl Gane is coming against Jon Jones with a 3-year delay since his last fight. He's 35 years old now. It's his first fight in heavyweight. But when you fought Jon Jones, he was at the peak. It was at his prime. 2.5 years before he was becoming champion. He just ran through the division and the competition. So you had the prime Jon Jones in my mind. How did you approach that fight? I mean, were you sometimes feeling, my God, the mountain is really hard to climb and is nearly unbeatable? Or did you approach that even mentally?
You mean under the fight, how I felt when I fought him?
Yeah, but how did you approach that? What was your mindset when you approached that?
My mindset was just, it was just, my mindset was like refusing to lose that fight. I just felt like under the whole camp, I was really training my ass off. It was actually my longest camp I had in the States. I was there for 3 months just doing the camp for that fight, and I was really preparing for Jon, and I sparred the best guy out there, and I had a brutal but at the same time an amazing camp, you know. And I was trying to all the time in the hard sessions to thinking of me fighting him, and that he's beatable, he's bleeding like me, he's like a human being, but that was mindset through the camp and for the fight, that he's a human being and he bleeds like me, you know.
Ouais.
Joe.
Oui, moi, tu sais, Alexander, souvent on dit que tu te fais une idée réelle de ce qui va se passer dans un combat après la première touche, le premier contact, le premier accroche, le premier grip. Qu'est-ce que tu as senti, toi, sur les premières secondes avec Jones? Est-ce que tu as senti qu'il était fort? Est-ce que tu étais impressionné? Est-ce qu'au contraire, tu pensais que c'était un peu moins que ce que c'était? So most of the time, we say that in a fight, the first impression you have is when you touch, you make the first contact. It's either a jab, either a connection, either a grip, either hand fighting. What did you feel, if you remember, about your first connection with Jones inside the octagon?
I don't remember so much, actually. It's almost 10 years ago, but I didn't think so much. I was just had an open mind, and I was just trying to adapt and feel him and take it for what it is, you know. Whatever he throws at me, I'm going to throw harder and be better. So it's hard to say, because I don't remember that much, like in the sense of exactly what's going through my mind at that moment. But I was really pumped up for that fight, and like I said before, it was my first big step to the big shows. So it was an amazing experience, you know.
So what you're saying is, ce que tu dis, Alexandre, c'est que basiquement, en fait, t'étais pas impressionné. T'as pas ressenti ce truc de dire, ouais, je suis en face d'un mec qui est vraiment très fort. So basically, what you're saying is, when you got inside the octagon with him, you were not that impressed. You were not like, oh my God, I'm in front of a guy who has unbearable power and all.
No, not at all. No. I saw him as an opponent like all the other opponents. He, no more, no less. You know, I had respect. I respect him, and I felt that, you know. But the only thing I had in my mind was to win, to have a belt around my waist. That was the only purpose of my only focus. So.
Alexander, dans l'approche de ce grand combat entre Ciryl Gane et Jon Jones, on a beaucoup parlé de toi en France comme ailleurs, parce qu'on compare beaucoup, on dit souvent que ta taille, ton allonge sont des choses qui ont posé des problèmes à Jon Jones, et que Ciryl Gane, avec sa taille, avec son allonge, va lui poser le même genre de problème. Est-ce que tu penses que c'est un problème pour Jon Jones d'avoir un combattant avec ce genre de capacité physique face à lui? Alexander, during the weeks before that big fight between Ciryl Gane and Jon Jones, a lot of people here in France and in other countries talked about you, because they said with his height and his reach, Alexander gave big problems to Jon Jones because of that. And we said, okay, Ciryl also is a big, tall guy. He also has a huge reach like you had. Do you think that it's a problem for Jon Jones to fight someone with those characteristics, with those physical traits?
Well, I believe that he's a guy that uses his reach and his length very good. I think he's the best one out there using his reach and all that. So I believe when he fights a guy that has the same reach or almost like him and moves a lot, of course it makes it harder for him. But with Jon, he's a very adaptable fighter. He's the smartest fighter I fought. You know, he's a smart guy, and he always finds a solution in some way. That's why he's he's where he is, and he's the pound for pound best guy out there. So
Ouais.
And Alexander,
Yeah.
est-ce que tu l'as vu s'adapter en cours de combat, par exemple? Tu dis que c'est un fighter très intelligent. Alex, you say it's a very high IQ fighter. Jon Jones is that one. And did you see him adapt during the fight, during that first fight? Because we know that you started very well in that fight. Did you see him adapt his game?
Well, he adapts and he he attacks you from different type of angles, and he changed his tactic, and he's attacking you in another way. That's what makes him so tricky.
Alexander, deux choses. La première, qu'est-ce que tu penses si je dis que sur votre premier combat, le sort de votre premier combat, tu étais le meilleur combattant, mais que Jones a su gagner? Et la deuxième question que j'ai pour toi sur ce combat, c'est à quel point ce coup de coude retourné qui t'envoie te sonne et change le combat. So Alexander, what do you think about me saying that on this night you are the better fighter, but Jones knew how to win? He found the path to win in the eye of the judges. And the second question I would have for you is, how bad were you walked by one of his spinning elbows that touched you in the fourth round?
Well, he rocked me pretty good.
It changed the fight? Do you think it changed the whole fight?
It just well, I adapted. In the judges' eye, yes, absolutely. He finished strong. I was winning the fourth round all the way to he got that spinning elbow in the last minute, and then the fifth round he won. So with that takedown he got, but yeah, he like I said, he's a smart fighter, and if he knows he's under in points, he's gonna try new things and try to change the fight and the scorecards, of course, and he always tries to finish strong, and yeah.
Alexander, Jonathan disait que dans ce combat, tu étais sans doute le meilleur combattant, mais que Jon Jones avait trouvé un moyen de gagner aux yeux des juges. Est-ce que tu penses que c'est plus dur de gagner un combat à la décision contre une star comme Jon Jones? On sait que ça ne devrait pas être le cas, mais est-ce que tu penses qu'aux yeux des juges, il faut gagner encore plus le round pour pouvoir prendre un round à Jon Jones? Alexander, obviously, Joe was saying that on that night, and I think that too, you were the better fighter against Jon, but he found a path to win in the eyes of the judges. Do you think that when you fight someone like Jon Jones, you have to do a little extra more to win the round in the eyes of the judges? It shouldn't be the case because the judge should judge anybody, but do you think the fact that he's such a star forces you to win the round more decisively to win against him?
He's he's been a very dominant champion in the light heavyweight division in the UFC. And when you've been beating everybody up, it's like you come like a challenger. You have to beat him so good in points. They have to be so ahead of him, or you have to finish him. But also, Jon is one of those guys that he finds ways. You have to be prepared in every aspect of the game all the time for all the 5 rounds, and you can't relax with this guy. You have to be on your toes, be on point. You have to be like your physical, your conditioning has to be on point. Everything, it's this guy is, he's the GOAT for a reason. So.
Et juste en complément, Alexander, là-dessus, est-ce que tu penses que c'est toujours le cas? Est-ce que 10 ans plus tard et après 3 ans d'absence, est-ce que Ciryl va devoir, s'il veut s'imposer à la décision, est-ce qu'il va devoir gagner les rounds vraiment décisivement parce que sinon les juges pencheraient peut-être pour Jon Jones? Do you think it's still the case, Alexander? Do you think that 10 years later, for Ciryl Gane to win a decision this Saturday night, he will have to win the round decisively? Because if the round is between the two of them, the judges can give it maybe to Jon because he's a star.
It's hard to say. I don't think that. I think this is going down with who wants it more. Jon has been away for 3 years. It's a new division for him. I'm very excited for the fight. I can't wait to see it. It's hard for me to pick a winner because I haven't seen Jon for so long, and it's also a new division. Ciryl is he's a beast in the heavyweight division. He goes through everybody, but we saw some mistakes he did with Francis. He got dominated on the ground. He couldn't get up on the ground, which is Jon's one of his strongest sides.
Yes.
I'm very excited. It could go either way. I'll be watching it for sure, and I'm looking forward to it. Really bad. I really want to see it. So can't wait to see Jon. It's very I can't wait to see Jon back. I think that he's been missed.
Alexander, tu parlais du grappling, qui était le défaut dans le jeu de Ciryl face à Francis notamment. Toi, tu nous as surpris tous parce que je me rappelle quand quand on était devant le combat, de te voir amener Jon Jones au sol, c'était une vraie surprise. Qu'est-ce que tu penses comment tu avais abordé ça? Est-ce que tu avais travaillé spécifiquement ta défense de lutte ou est-ce que tu avais vraiment prévu de répondre au défi et d'essayer d'amener Jones au sol? So, Alexander, you were talking about one of Cyryl's weakness, which is his grappling and wrestling. You surprised us all when you took Jones down. It was the first time we were seeing it. How did you prepare for it? Just defensive wrestling, or were you planning of trying to take him down?
No, I just saw an opportunity. I took it.
Okay.
Fighting is a lot of it comes. It's a lot about your reactions and your reflexes. So I saw an opportunity and I took it. But I has a weakness on the ground. I just do believe that. We all saw what we saw against Francis, but I do believe he has a very, very dangerous some footlocks. It's really Gane, and I believe that that's always a threat to Jon. That he has his footlocks, and it could go either way. So I'm very excited. Very excited.
Alexander, qu'est-ce que tu as pensé des déclats d'après-combat de Jones après votre premier combat, où Jones explique que si ça a été si serré, c'est parce qu'il t'avait pas pris au sérieux. What did you think about Jones saying after your fight that if it was close, it was just because he didn't take you seriously?
Well, I still believe that he was in his peak, and I believe that he was very, very prepared for that fight we had. So.
Yeah, me too.
Et est-ce que tu l'as vu beaucoup changer entre les deux combats? Puisqu'on rappelle, vous avez eu un deuxième combat quelques années plus tard, en décembre 2018, si je ne dis pas de bêtises. À quel point tu l'avais vu changer ou adapter son jeu par rapport au premier combat? We just reminded people that you had a second fight, obviously, with Jon that beat you the second time in 2018. How did you prepare for that one? And not only did you prepare, but did you see a change in the game of Jon Jones on that second fight? Did you feel that he adapted his game compared to the first fight, that he knew what problems you brought him and that he adapted that?
Well, our second fight, I believe that he was more offensive, more aggressive in the first fight. The second fight, he was more defensive, and he was learning into this trade meaning in all this combinations he had, and he threw those kicks to me, and then he got that knee right on my, and I couldn't continue. That knee just paralyzed me. So that was basically. So it's not much to talk about the second fight. I didn't felt that I was really, I wasn't really. It finished so fast, and I couldn't really adapt. And it took me down, and he was able to I think he mounted me, and that's it. But I couldn't move. My footwork was totally gone after that knee. So that's basically it. So, but he was for sure more aggressive in the first fight than the second.
Alexander, je t'ai entendu dire aussi sur ce combat-là, sur ces combats contre Jon Jones, je t'ai entendu déclarer que battre Jon Jones était peut-être plus important que prendre la ceinture, que c'était plus grand. Est-ce que c'est quelque chose que tu crois toujours aujourd'hui? Est-ce que tu penses que battre quelqu'un comme Jon Jones, c'est presque plus fort que de devenir champion à l'UFC? Alexander, I heard you say a quote after those fights, and you were saying that beating Jon Jones would be bigger than having the belt. Do you still believe that? Do you feel that when you have such a star before your eyes, if you beat him, it's even stronger, even better than to be the champion?
Well, it is something special to beat him because he's never been beaten.
Et est-ce que tu aurais, toi, quel conseil tu donnerais aujourd'hui à Ciryl Gane pour aborder ce combat? Tu es sans doute celui qui, avec peut-être Dominique Reyes et Thiago Santos dernièrement, qui a poussé le plus loin Jon Jones, le plus proche de la défaite. Quel conseil tu donnerais à Ciryl? Ou est-ce qu'il n'y a pas de conseil parce que ça fait trop longtemps qu'on n'a pas vu Jon? Alexander, what advice would you give to Ciryl Gane before this fight on Saturday night? Because you are the one that pushed Jon Jones to the absolute limit. Maybe with Dominique Reyes and Thiago Santos that were close to beat him too in the last two fights. What advice would you give Ciryl? Or can't you give advice because it's been so long that we didn't see Jon that it's impossible to give an advice because we don't know which Jon Jones will show up in the cage Saturday?
Well, the only advice I can give him is, be the best version of you as a fighter. Be the best fighter you ever been.
Yeah. C'est un bon conseil. Après, qu'est-ce que tu penses, Alexander, si je te dis que personnellement, alors mon co-host Alexandre et moi, on a presque 40 ans, on est un peu des vieux de la vieille, mais si on te dit qu'après ton combat contre Daniel Cormier, on se dit que c'est quand même très dur pour un Européen d'aller prendre la ceinture à un Américain s'il n'y a pas de KO. What do you think about the fact that me and my co-host, we think that after your fight against DC, we now think that for a European fighter to get the belt off of an American fighter, you need to knock him out. You can't go to the judges.
Well, if you go to the judges, you have to beat him for 5 rounds.
Yeah, but it
can't be a split decision. It can't be. You can't lose a round. You have to beat him every round.
Est-ce que tu as l'impression que tu as été un peu, pas volé, mais qu'on t'a empêché, que les juges t'ont empêché d'avoir la ceinture? Do you feel like you got some kind of maybe robbed by the judges of holding the UFC belt?
No, not today. It's been very long time since we fought about the title. And no, I'm good. I'm good with the decisions. I'm good with what I've been accomplished in the sport, and
you beat DC. Come on,
I don't regret anything.
Alexander, you beat DC.
We had a good fight.
Yeah, but another question for you is
but because we had a good fight. It was a good run. Yeah. DC is a beast too.
Yeah, but what do you reply? Qu'est-ce que tu me réponds si je te dis que le combat contre Jones t'a enlevé un petit peu de vitalité et fait que il t'a peut-être manqué quelque chose contre DC? What do you reply to me if I tell you that maybe the fight against Jones kind of took you some of your vitality and kind of took you a part of you, and that you lacked this part of yourself against DC? If you see what I want to say.
Well, it was a hard fight with Jon, for sure. I was pissing blood for a week, so it was a tough fight. But the fight with DC was a different fight, different animal to fight. I was prepared for that fight. I had one of the best camps in my life, and I was prepared. I just had a bad. It wasn't my day. I lost on split decision. I had a bad game plan coming in, and I had a good game plan, but I couldn't really, stay into that because he was, I wasn't prepared for it. I knew he was pressuring, but not that type of pressure. You know, he's a beast too. Whatever I throw at DC, he just took it. You know, the knees, the kicks, the punches, he just went through it. So, you know, they're back in the days, they were all animals up there.
Et,
Alexander, excuse-moi, je voulais rebondir sur ce que tu as dit parce que c'est intéressant. Il y a plusieurs fighters qui ont dit après avoir combattu Jon Jones, j'ai été changé. J'étais plus le même combattant parce que oui, il a retiré une partie de moi. Est-ce que c'est quelque chose que tu penses vrai? I wanted to rebound on what Jonathan said because I heard some fighters say, when I fought Jon Jones, I was not the same fighter after that. He took something out of me because it was an absolute war. Do you say that it's true? Do you say that you were not the same exact fighter after the first fight with Jon, or is it bollocks?
No, I don't think it. But well, it's all about the person and the individual. If that's what they feel and think, I respect that. I don't believe that he took something from me. One of my best performance against the Glover Teixeira here in Stockholm. I felt pretty good, you know. Then I had some losses too, but I just believe it is what it is. You know, I did my best, and you know that's it. I don't. Every fight is a different fight, and you have all the possibilities to make the best of it, you know, and that's what I've been doing, you know, and I'm really proud of my accomplishments and all of that. It's nothing that I regret at all, and I feel it's been a good journey, you know. It's been a good couple of years, had a good couple of fights, and I'm happy about that, you know.
Joe, quelques petites dernières questions avant qu'on lui demande son pronostic et qu'on laisse Alexander.
Donc du coup, moi personnellement, je l'aurais dit, je pense que tu as gagné le combat contre Cormier et qu'on t'a volé de la ceinture. Mais ceci étant dit, du coup, qu'est-ce que ça fait d'échouer 2 fois pour la ceinture? Est-ce que tu pourrais donner un petit conseil à notre Ciryl Gane qui, lui, a déjà échoué une fois face à Francis Ngannou en cas de défaite, ce qu'on ne souhaite pas, à quel point c'est dur de rebondir pour se remobiliser à aller chercher cette 3e chance pour conquérir la ceinture. So we said it. You lost you lost your fight for the belt twice. Even if I really think you won against DC, but that's another story. What would be your advices for a guy like Ciryl? Yeah. What would be your advice for a guy like Ciryl who already lost once against Francis to get the unified belt? And we don't wish it, but if he loses against Jones, how hard is it to go back and go on another run to get a third chance for the belt?
Well, you have to. If you don't win, you have to learn. You know, you don't learn much about winning. You know, when you lose, you learn. So, if you don't win, you have to learn. Be better, do better, and keep having fun training, develop. You know, it's not more than that. It's a lot about the mental part of the sport in the sport, and you just have to keep developing yourself, having fun doing it, and you know, look forward to the next challenge.
Alexander, deux petites dernières questions avant de te laisser. Encore merci pour ton temps, Alexander. Two quick questions before we leave you, and thanks again for your time, champion. But how do you see the fight going on Saturday night? Comment tu vois le combat samedi soir, Ciryl Gane, Jon Jones? Qui gagne selon toi? How do you see that fight going? Who wins on Saturday night for you, in your opinion, Ciryl Gane or Jon Jones?
And it's not because we are French that you have to pick the French guy. You can say whatever you think.
Well, it's very hard to pick a winner because you know, everything that's you know, with Jon has been away, and we don't know how it is, you know, how it will be on Saturday. But I do some believe that Jon has the edge. I believe that if he takes this fight to the ground, I believe it's going to be his night. If he keeps it on his feet, it's going to be Ciryl Gane's night. You know, it's whoever wants it more, and it's you know, the smartest guy in there on Saturday night will win. So let's see.
Et ma deuxième question, Alexander, elle te concerne aussi toi, parce qu'on t'a laissé il y a quelques mois avec une défaite contre Nikita Krylov, qui était ta ta quatrième défaite de suite à l'UFC depuis la revanche contre Jon Jones. Où est-ce que tu en es? Où est-ce que tu en es dans ton parcours? Quels sont les prochains objectifs?
Quelle catégorie de poids?
Voilà, quel est ton futur dans le MMA, s'il y a futur dans le MMA? Alexander, we wanted to talk about you too. We one last question, because we left you with that defeat against Nikita Krylov a few months back. It was the fourth one in a row since the rematch against Jon. How are you today? Or at what point are you in your journey? What is the future for you? Or do you plan to fight soon or to not fight at all? What can you tell us about your future, Alexander?
I'm training. When I fight, I don't know. Where it will be, I don't know. But I'm keep training. You know, I got the gym here in Stockholm, so I'm staying in shape, and I'm feeling good training. You know, and let's see. I don't know. Let's see when the next fight is. I just want to, feel. It has to be the right time, and I have to feel it's the right way to do it, and everything has to feel good, and then I will probably take a fight, and then we go it from there. It's my fourth loss, and I always been, and I got knocked out the last fight, and that's nothing I'm really used to. It's
Yes.
I always had a really good chin. So let's see, guys. I don't know. I don't have any answer for your questions, but I'm training, so. I'm staying in the gym and I'm training, but let's see what happens.
Qu'est-ce que tu en penses si je te dis que le scénario idéal, c'est qu'ils reviennent faire une carte en Suède avec Ramzat qui est dessus, et que toi, ça soit ton dernier combat devant ta jolie famille et que tu poses les gants dans la cage? What do you think about if I tell you that they come back to Sweden, there's a card with Ramzat on it, and you're on the card, and you just have one last fight, put your gloves in the middle of the cage, and say goodbye in front of your beautiful family?
That would be a way to do it too. Absolutely.
I say this because we love you. We really appreciated what you gave us inside of the cage. You have a beautiful family, and I don't know, maybe it's not. I don't know. We are nobody to tell you what to do, but for sure, I think a goodbye in Sweden would be very nice.
That would be very nice. Absolutely, I agree with you. Let's see what happens.
Et si tu veux venir à l'UFC Paris dans quelques mois, on sera ravis aussi d'avoir un combat d'Alexander Gustafsson sur la carte. If you want to come to the UFC in Paris, because it was the first one last year, but there's going to be another one this year, we would be happy to have a fight of Alexander Gustafsson on that card, for sure.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate that.
Thanks a lot. Merci beaucoup, Alexander. Merci beaucoup pour ton temps depuis chez toi en Suède. C'était un honneur et un plaisir. Thanks a lot, Alexander, for your time. It was an honor and a pleasure to have you to talk about this fight.
Thank you so much. Take care.
See you, Alex. Bye.
See you. Bye. Bye.
Un grand merci à Alexander Gustafsson pour nous avoir accordé cette interview, l'ancien adversaire 2 fois d'ailleurs de Jon Jones au cours de leur carrière. Et merci à son manager Majdi Chamaz d'avoir permis cette interview. On le remercie beaucoup pour tout ce qu'il a fait pour organiser tout ça. On vous donne rendez-vous bien sûr ce week-end pour ce gros choc entre Ciryl Gane et Jon Jones. Ce sera en direct sur RMC Sport, sur les antennes de notre chaîne de télé. N'hésitez pas à consommer tous les produits, tous les podcasts du Fighter Club qu'on vous a proposés, tous les films sur internet, les interviews, les articles sur notre site RMC, les contenus sur les réseaux sociaux. On vous a fait le plus possible de contenu pour que vous soyez prêts pour ce choc du week-end à Las Vegas entre Ciryl Gane et Jon Jones. N'hésitez pas à vous abonner sur toutes les plateformes pour rater aucun épisode, et laissez-nous des commentaires, des pouces, des notes. Ça nous donne de la force, ça nous permet de progresser, d'avoir des retours. On sait que vous êtes aussi de plus en plus nombreux à nous suivre sur YouTube, donc n'hésitez pas également, des commentaires, des notes, tout ce qui peut nous permettre de progresser dans le Fighter Club. Merci une nouvelle fois à tous pour votre fidélité. Merci Joe, un nouveau merci à Alexander Gustafsson, et à très vite pour un nouvel épisode du RMC Fighter Club.